busy doing a couple of experiments today as well as some routine maintenance, and they've got a little bit of off-duty time. Today there's a good shot of the U.S. segment of the International Space Station. Down there at the bottom right-hand side is the Quest airlock. Dan Burbank was working inside Quest earlier this week, just doing some routine maintenance on the spacesuits that are inside that particular portion of the station. There's just every now and then the crew has to do some work on those spacesuits to flush out the coolant lines, make sure that those suits are ready to go at a moment's notice in case they need them. On the far left-hand side is the Columbus Laboratory, the European Space Agency's lab. You see at the sort of the bottom left-hand side of the station that large silver drum-shaped object. That's the very top portion of the Kibo laboratory. The robotic arm there mounted to the Harmony node at this point in time, that is where it will stay as it gets ready to welcome SpaceX's Dragon spacecraft coming up at the end of the month. That arm is going to be used under the controls of Don Pettit with Andre Kuipers watching over, as it will be used to reach out and grab onto Dragon and to berth it to the bottom side of Harmony as well. As we mentioned, Burbank getting ready to come home along with Sheketlarov and Ivanishin. That will leave Pettit and Kuipers and Kononenko on board. So as we talked about, Pettit's going to be in charge of using that arm to latch on to Dragon. He and Kuipers have been busy this week doing some practice runs using one of the station's two robotic workstations. There's one inside the Destiny laboratory, one inside the cupola. They were using the one inside Destiny to basically take a look at a laptop and a display on there to see an animation, a mock-up of what they're going to be seeing whenever Dragon arrives, and doing some practice sessions. On the actual day, they're actually going to be inside the cupola because it gives them basically a 360-degree view of what's going on. But they will have the Destiny robotic workstation up and running as a hot backup in case they need to move up there. There's a good shot of the cupola there. Its shutter is currently closed just to protect the windows from heat and any sort of micrometeoroid debris or any sort of debris hits that it might have against that glass. So they will continue that practice for Dragon coming up in next week. They've got about 2 weeks worth of practice sessions scheduled, and obviously the first week now wrapped up. Here's animation of Dragon and the Falcon 9 lifting off from Cape Canaveral. This is what should take place on April 30th at 11:22 a.m. Central Time. Once Dragon reaches orbit, that should take about 9 minutes. Dragon will separate, and then it will deploy its solar arrays. Dragon will spend a couple of days heading up toward the International Space Station. It's got a series of phasing maneuvers as it fine-tunes its course up toward the International Space Station and making sure that the rendezvous is pinpoint. It'll perform some checkout activities on flight day 3, and then finally on flight day 4, it will come up to a position a couple of hundred meters down below the station to perform some abort and hold maneuvers, and then it will proceed to a point about 10 meters away, about 30 feet. And then, as we mentioned, Pettit will reach out with that arm and grab on to Dragon, and then bring it on in for the berthing. Dragon will stay attached to the station for about 18 days or so, and then the process will be reversed. Dragon will perform a series of engine maneuvers to take it away from the station, and then it will re-enter the Earth's atmosphere. From the time that it fires its engines to come back in to the time it splashes down is fairly quick. It's about 30 minutes. Dragon is due to splash down in the Pacific Ocean. It's bringing home a few 100 pounds of experiments, equipment that the station crew is finished with, and then it will be recovered off the coast of California. For all the latest information on Dragon and the upcoming SpaceX mission, just log on to www.nasa.gov/SpaceX and check out that info there. And also, as one more reminder, coming up on Monday,